Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to Star Lordess Podcast. Y'all ready for tonight? Y'all ready for this? This is going to be a fantastic show. We have a special guest with us here this evening, a man who has astonished us all. We want to hear his story. And first, I want to say hi to everyone in the chat here. I see Jim is here. Welcome, Jim. Oh, Ninja, Miss Ninja. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's so nice to see all of you guys here tonight. How are you liking your weekend? How's your Saturday evening going so far? Well, it depends where you are. Maybe it's not evening just yet, but it will be soon. Hi, Donna from Texas. Hi, Brenda. Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see everyone here. Oh, Mark. Hey, Marky. How you doing? It's so great. Wow, everybody's gathering in the room because everyone's waiting for the man of the hour, I'm sure. How are you liking the podcast? Are you having a good time with these podcasts? I'm sure having a blast. And I know a lot of you have been coming back week after week here, having a good time, having chats. Hey, Raina. Woo! We got some of the best mods in the business here now. These people are amazing. Just to let you know, heads up, this is a no nonsense channel. Anybody gets out of line, you will be either put in timeout or you will be deleted and reported. We do not put up with any nonsense on this channel. So, is everyone excited for Super Bowl tomorrow night? Oh, yeah. A lot of familiar names in here. Hello, everyone. You having a good Saturday night? Oh, loving the podcast. Well, it's so nice to see everybody in here in this room. Just waiting for the guests to arrive. But in the meantime, have a good time here. Thank you very much, Raina. Also, to make sure you put Chris's information in the chat as well. I do have it in the description box, a link to his channel. But yeah, if you could grab that, Reina or Ninja. So, is everybody ready? We are getting ready to welcome the man of the hour, joining us live from Washington State. The man, the myth, the legend. Welcome, everyone, Chris Reck. And here he is. Hi, Chris.
Hello. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
How's the weather in Washington?
Cold today. Actually, today wasn't too bad, but it's been kind of cold recently. So, yeah, a little bit cold.
Yeah, I always ask the guests that. It seems to be a popular question. They're usually talking about it in the chat. For some reason, they're not right now. But yeah, so thanks so much for coming on the show, Chris. This means
of course.
a lot. And you've got an incredible story to tell about your rise to basically you have your own empire now, from what I see. So, well, first of all, I'm going to go back to 2015, 2016, when I first started noticing you on your channel. You had a small channel back then, and I was so impressed with you because you used to read playing cards, and you're one of the few people that can read, other than my mother, who used to read playing cards back in the day. You have an incredible way of, like, you're an intuitive reader, so you have an incredible way of explaining the cards and the stories and so forth. It's amazing, and you're really good. You're really good at what you
thank
do.
you.
And so now let's go back to when we were all on your channel back in the day when you're doing a lot of live, and you'll see a lot of the same people.
Yeah, a lot of
your
same people
are now in the chat. And how did you go from back when you had like 15, 20,000 subscribers to now you're pushing a million subscribers on your channel now.
Yeah, getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was stuck for a very long time on that channel. So I think even I hit like 40,000, and that was like my stuck number, So
Mhm.
40,000 was the number that I really had to break through, and so that's about the time I started going live. I think was around that time.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the first things I tried to break that like 40K
Right.
subscribers, which seems to be like the number to break through.
Mhm.
Um, and then, so then what I started doing after that is I started just, that kind of worked going live, but I was still stuck. And so then I just started focusing on making 1% improvements every single day. I still do it. I still make, like, even right now, all my lighting has changed in here. So
Yeah.
I'm still constantly tweaking things. And,
Mhm.
that I think that's really what broke me through.
Wow. So, like, I remember hearing you saying on one of your videos that you were sitting in your room for a long time and not really
Oh,
doing
yeah.
anything. And
Yeah.
how did you go? Like, what was behind that story?
Yeah, so I had a marketing business when I was younger,
Okay.
and then I just stopped. I kind of like fell out of love with it and just stopped doing it. And during that time, I just sat in my room all day and did did nothing pretty much for, I don't know, probably a good 4 years. Like I say, and really I did spend that time learning a lot, educating myself,
Yeah.
things like that. But I really, really didn't do anything. And that's what actually around the time that I started Minnow Tarot was after that, for, yeah, 4 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just started the channel and just what was your intention with it? Just as a
Yeah,
side hustle or?
uh, my mom, one of the things that I was, like, obsessed with at the time was, Coast to Coast AM, which is, like a paranormal radio station, and that's why I learned playing cards in the first place, was because of Coast to Coast. And, they had a guy on who used to read only playing cards who came on. And, I've always been interested in tarot and things like that, but, for whatever reason, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn how to read playing cards." So that's why I did it. And then my mom came in my room one day and she's like, "Hey, why don't you start a YouTube channel?" And I started that night.
Really?
Yeah, yep.
Wow. Oh, your mom suggested that. That's
Yep.
interesting. Wow. And then you started the channel and then things were going okay and but
Yeah, yeah, just, like, I was, like, I think I was bored, and it gave me something to do every single day, so,
oh,
that's kind of what how it worked. And then I just
wow.
never stopped.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you said, you were stuck for a while, but then you started those lives, which were a good time. I mean, you had a lot of
Oh, yeah.
people in the room, and we all had a blast in there. And I got to meet a lot of people in the chat and everything, and just seemed like everybody just really loves you because you have a way about you. You're very likable personality, and
I
well, that's
try.
what they say about YouTube is that if you're liked in real life, chances are you'll be liked on YouTube. That's sort of the rule, right? And you seem like somebody who's, likable in real life, so
Oh, I
you're
hope so. I'm always like,
so
I hope people aren't disappointed when they meet me.
well, I was wondering, like, you had talked a lot about law of attraction. Like, I have a little bit of a background. Actually, before I started my channel, I did the 90-day trial thing with the law of attraction where you have to do all these things for like 3 months. And I did that. And then I started my YouTube channel probably about 6 months after
Mm,
doing
wow.
the 90-day challenge. So I was wondering with you, how much of a role did law of attraction play in your rise to fame and fortune?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a big part. I mean, I still script every single day, so I'm big into scripting, and I tell people to do whatever they're into, and also positive thinking as well. I always like to say that it's free, so why
Yeah,
wouldn't you want to do it? And
that's true.
whether it works or it doesn't, it's better to think more positively than negatively, of course.
Right, absolutely. So is there anything you do, like, have you ever gone to any of these, like, Esther Hicks seminars or anything like that?
I've never been, but I'm a big fan of Esther. I don't agree with everything she says, but I don't I like listening to her. I listen to her a lot. And during that time, funny enough, I was listening to her quite a bit. So, I definitely think she's a good one to listen to.
So did you find that after you were doing the live and then it wasn't really reaching your goals, so did you start doing some kind of different manifestation to bring you to where you are?
Yeah, yeah, like I said, at that time I started, when it was probably maybe 2 years into lives or something like that,
Mhm.
when I really started focusing on the doing the scripting. The other thing that I will say that I forgot about too is, doing there's a book called It Works where, it's very simple. It's like a tiny little pamphlet, and in that book, he talks about, basically writing down everything you want in detail on a list, and you read that list 3 times a day. And I have manifested, you could say what you want, but I have manifested a lot of things that were on that list, and so I think that's another really good one as well. And but you have to read it 3 times a day.
Oh, wow. And how long have you
Yeah.
been doing that?
Probably since that time, I would say probably since that, like, 2 years in. So I mean, that would have been COVID was like 2019, right?
Yeah.
So probably since that's when I took it more seriously was probably 2019.
Oh, wow. And where'd you get it from? Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, but I think I found it because I found an author, Mitch Horowitz, and I can't remember how I found him, but he was talking about it, and then I found a version where he read it. It's on YouTube. I think it's for free. And the book itself is like $1.99 or something like that. And
Oh.
like I said, you don't even have to read the book unless you're interested. All you do, I told you exactly what to do. Just write the list and read it 3 times. That's the trick. But
Oh,
um, you
I
know,
see. I thought it was
yeah.
something a book you had to read 3 times, but you're
Oh,
only
no, no, no. Yeah, you're just reading your list 3 times. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. What about, putting pictures, like, on your fridge? I know a lot of people who do that sort of thing, that's
Yeah, I
their
use
Mhm.
I had a vision board, like, when The Secret first came out, whenever that was, I had a vision board during that time. I haven't done it since, but, I mean, to me, the law of attraction thing is if whatever works for you is what you should do.
Yeah, okay. And then you just put
Yeah,
your energy into it and try not to put any resistance there. So,
right.
doubt and things like that are resistance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And did you like, I remember a few times, saying, calling you, Chris, the hardest working man in tarot, and it just seemed like you were always on the airwaves, so to speak. You were everywhere. So were you working like 7 days a week at that time to build a
Yeah, I
channel?
mean, I still work 7 days a week and
Uh,
on the channel, and so, yeah, it was 7 days a week. I always say I stay on my schedule 4 videos a day minimum, so, I'm always doing 4 every single day.
Wow. And then you
Yeah.
just put them up out there and hope for the best? Is that how it
Yeah,
goes?
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that nowadays. I have like a whole system where I track my titles, and I take YouTube very seriously. So, I'm always testing titles, testing thumbnails, all that stuff.
Yeah, because it is a business, you have to take it as
Yeah,
too many people take it like a side hustle, a little, side thing to do, and then they quit, they get discouraged because,
yeah,
you have to really treat it like a
yeah.
business. And how are you liking it now that you've been
Uh,
doing this for
yeah, I love it. I mean, I love YouTube. I love working on creating content just in general. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll ever stop.
no. And did you build a little studio there that is that what we
Yeah, I
see?
have this is my I moved to a new place, and this is my newer studio, or this was like 2 years ago now almost, but this is my current studio.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah,
just
I
get
just have
up
a
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. I was just saying it's just a blocked off room with I have a bunch of sound blankets around me, so
Yes,
that's
for
all it is.
whatever works, right? At
Yeah,
the end of
whatever works
the
exactly.
So do you just get up every day and you just go into the studio, just treat it, grab your coffee like you're going to work?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
exactly what I do. I thought I had my coffee mug here, my famous mug, but I just come down here every single morning, and after I chug a huge cup of coffee, and then I get started.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
the best way to be, right? And it's
Yeah.
cool that you get to work from home, so it doesn't matter what the weather is. You can still
Yeah,
go.
exactly, yeah. No days off for snow
Well,
or anything.
yeah, exactly. When you work online, there is no days off. You got to
Yeah.
constantly plan everything. But you've also expanded like into it looks like into you know, you branched off. You have other channels now as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I have my Chris Reck channel. I'm working on some top secret stuff for channels in the background. So,
Ooh,
I'm all, like I said, I'm all about the YouTube and, creating content. Yeah.
okay. So you have, what is it, 3 channels now, or is it 4?
Yeah, I have the Chris Reck channel, the minnow channel, and I have a bunch of like other channels that I haven't uploaded in onto for like a very long time. But I think those are the two I focus on the most right now.
Yeah. Do you think it's best to, like, for YouTubers out there to split up their channels and go, or just have everything on one channel?
Well, that's a tough question to answer. It's funny because I'm working with a group right now about YouTube, and I found an example the other day of a kid who, I mean, he talks about everything you could possibly imagine. Like he's all over the place with his videos, and his channel does really, really well. And I think it has to do with like authenticity and just being, who you are. I once heard Gary Vaynerchuk say to a lady, I've been trying to find this video forever because I want that clip, but he
Mm.
said to a lady, "Why can't you just be good at being yourself?" And ever since he said that, I literally made that my mission to that when I heard him say that, it was during COVID. He was going live every single day, and he said that, and it just woke something up inside of me. I was like, yeah, more people should just be good at being yourself. If you want to talk about llamas, pigeons, and have a cooking channel and talk about tarot at the same time on your channel, I'm like, do it. There are people who will want to hear you talk about that.
Right, and I feel sort of like YouTube now is kind of, becoming more like network television. So I
Yeah,
see a channel as though, like NBC or ABC or anything like that, where it has a bunch of different content on it. So you don't have to stick with just one kind of content. I think like that's why I'm thinking of changing my channel name to Star Lordess channel as opposed to
yeah.
tarot, because I have astrology, the Hope for Humanity series, plus now podcasts. So it's like it just come to the channel. There's different content on there. I know at one point they were saying on YouTube that you shouldn't do that. You should just keep your content all the same in order for. But I think it's changing. It's like anything else. It's just changing up, right?
Yeah, I agree, and I think a few things. The algorithm is so good nowadays that they know exactly who to serve your content to. So I just tell people like focus on creating the best quality experience that you possibly can for the people who are going to watch you. Like that's like the secret to success, right? And also, I think YouTube itself is starting to change. They have the whole little podcast section now. And so I think they're going to make it easier moving forward for people to, kind of almost create series and in different things like that. So you can really break it down.
Do you think that's something you'd ever get involved in, such as doing series, maybe even mini movies or things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on a top secret project behind the scenes that I've been working on for a couple of years. That is kind of going in that direction anyway. So
Mhm.
that won't be on YouTube, but yes, to answer your question,
Wow. So do you get recognized when you go out in public? Now, I
yes,
can
I've
imagine you have a large following, so
yeah, it's always
yeah.
at Whole Foods. Everybody runs into me. If you want to just go to Whole Foods, you'll find me there. So that's the secret.
Is that right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
get recognized for the strangest reason, I don't know why, but in Walmarts.
Oh,
That's
there you go.
yeah, it's just very strange, but I don't know, I guess people who eat also watch
Yeah.
tarot. I'm not sure what's going on here with the
Yeah, of
correlation.
course.
But yeah, we've got, can you see the chat at all, Chris?
My chat is actually it just looks like a bunch of overlapping words. I think I have it over here though. I can read it over here as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
I have it.
I can move. I can just look over here if I need to.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people in here. Your dad's in here.
My dad's in here. Yes, hello, dad.
Yeah. We gotta say hello to Chris's
Yeah,
dad. Everybody say hi
of
to Jim.
course. Hey, Brenda, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Hello,
and
Brenda.
Brenda's in here as well. Hi, Mama Bear. How you doing? Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat here. Very excited.
Yeah,
People
love
were
it.
quite thrilled. As a matter of fact, I'll have to text it to you later. But a fan wrote something about how he was on your channel and you had mentioned something about resurrection, and he said that it pertained to anyway the reading that you had given. So
Yeah, my
yeah.
mom actually texted it to me
Oh, she
right
did.
before
Okay.
this. Yeah, so I saw that. I thought that I remember sitting there in that reading saying that I was saying redemption. And
Redemption,
yeah,
yes.
like I got this weird word popping. I was like, what is that word that is popping into my head right now? And so yeah, that definitely weird confirmation for sure.
Yeah, exactly, and I love it when I get confirmation from people.
Oh
They
yeah,
text
yeah.
or they send me a message and say, "Wow, something you said." And I do believe, do you believe, Chris, that the work that we do really helps people and aids people in
Oh
a
yeah.
really I do think in a lot of ways. Like I've had people email me and say that, I was feeling like it was all over, really
Yeah.
down and out. And then I saw you reading and all of a sudden, they're back on their feet. They have hope again, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Same thing. I've had so many people have told me how helpful it is. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think I'm really glad that I started the channel, and I'm glad
Yeah.
you
No.
did as well. So
Yeah, I
there's
am too. It's been great.
a lot of us out there who are working for good. You always get those people who say, "Oh, tarot is
Mm,
negative or it's evil," and so forth. But I don't believe that at all. I believe it comes down to the person. Anything, this crystal could be used for evil.
evil.
Anything
Yeah.
could be used for evil. It comes from the intent. If the intent is positive, I think it will have positive results. So so we don't have to bother with the trolls who come around.
No. Yeah. Yeah. No. I've gotten to the point where I just ignore it finally after all these years. So
Yeah, right? I
yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
remember that. That was another thing from the, law of attraction when I did
Yeah.
the challenge was you can't worry about what other people think of you because it's really none of your business
None of
anyway.
your business. Yeah.
So it's like it's so
Yeah.
much isn't it so much easier living by those rules? Because
Oh
I
yeah.
had to strip down everything I ever was taught. That was the number one thing, right? Was whatever you think or whatever you've been taught, you've got to strip that away and then rebuild and start reprogramming your mind with the right stuff, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we're raised, as Esther Hicks says, with resistance, or to think, everything has to be hard work and all this other stuff. So yeah, I think we have to totally reprogram it.
Right. I feel like with the law of attraction stuff, people say that you can't just put the intention out there and do nothing. No, you can't because you have to put
Yeah,
the intention out there and you have to now wake up with it's best if you live in the moment. You're living in the moment as much as you possibly can because in that way you'll listen to your instincts when they push you in a certain direction, right? So it's like
yeah,
I ask for something or try to manifest something, and then I wait for the instinct, and then it tells me what to do, what I can do about it, and then follow that instinct. And usually it leads you to the right place, right?
yeah. I look at it like a number system. Like if you have to, if you wanted to manifest something specific, it's like maybe you're like a 5, and to get to that 10, if you need to be a 10 to get something, there are certain things you have to do. So I think people think like law of attraction. Oh, you just think about it, you attract it. But I mean, maybe that gets you to like 6. And to get to that 10, you probably have to do a bunch of work. You probably have to, fix your money blocks. You might have to pay off your debts. You might have to, get a different job. So it's like there are things you have to do to get to that point. And I think that's where like people say, "Oh, law of attraction doesn't work." I'm like, "Well, actually, it does work, but there are certain things that you have to do to get to that that number, whatever it is."
Right. You have to put in the effort, at least some effort.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be working and working and working and just always end up in the same spot. You're doing something
Right.
wrong
Yeah.
if you're doing that,
Yeah.
right? You have to
Absolutely.
put out the intention, have the positive thoughts and feelings. Negative thoughts will come into your mind. It's only natural, but try and push them out by replacing them with more positive thoughts.
Yeah. Of
That's what I
course.
always remember. It's like when I get frustrated, it's like I keep hearing Esther Hicks and just change when those thoughts come in, change something like change your clothes, change your socks, like change something to
Something.
stop
Yeah. Yeah.
loop from happening, right? Did you ever get into like one of those loops where, like before you started doing this, but where you were just looping in negative thought where it just kept coming back and kept coming back and you didn't have the tools to stop it?
Well, I'm a Pisces, so
Mhm.
this is a very Piscean thing is to get stuck in loops. So yeah, always. I still have to, I still have to correct myself constantly. So all the time.
Yeah. Well, you're a Pisces with a Gemini moon, right?
Yeah. Gemini moon. Yeah.
So you're like 4 people.
I am like 4 people.
Because the 2 fish and then the 2 people of
And
the
the 2
Gemini.
people, yeah,
Well, that would explain
exactly.
why you speak so rapid, because I noticed that you can
Yeah.
talk fast. It's almost like uh, like, saying a download or something when you're doing your
Yeah.
reading. It's almost like you're a computer and you're just downloading information.
Yeah, I mean, I call it spewing. I just, the best way I can describe it is I don't even read the cards really. I just kinda, I know it looks like I read the cards, but I just get out of the way, and whatever comes through, comes through. So, I don't even think about what I'm saying half the time. Half the time I forget. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
that's how I do it.
Same thing with me with readings. It's like after I'm done, I'm like, I don't remember. People make
Yeah.
comments in reference to it. I'm like, did I say that? I don't remember. Was I
Y
there? you know, it's so funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible. How long's it been now? 4 or 5 years since
Oh,
you climbed right
to
up,
yeah, yeah, like, probably 4 years, I would say, since 20 I broke 100,000 in 2019, so and that's when it happened, so,
and
yeah.
then it just flew up there. I want to ask the people in the chats, how long do you think it's going to take Chris to get to 1 million? What's your thoughts in there?
There have been a lot of predictions.
As there? Well, you're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
close to it. You're very, very
Yeah,
close,
I'm getting there, close.
which is
Yeah.
really extraordinary because it's very hard for a tarot channel to reach 1 million subscribers. So you may
Yeah,
be,
yeah, it's hard.
are there any other tarot readers that?
In So there are Spanish channels that have, like, 2,000,000,
Oh,
Jacob Tarot is one I can think of. There's a couple others over 1,000,000 and that speak, with Spanish in the Spanish
oh,
language, and, but I don't think there are any English speakers that are over 1,000,000.
wow, that'll be amazing if you're the first one to
If I hit
get.
it, yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, how long do you think? Oh, look, somebody in the chat said
Yeah,
20.
someone said 2027. I think that's a little, I mean, it might be accurate because it is hard. It's like harder and harder when you get up there to, especially in tarot, to get those numbers up. And
Mhm.
so, 2027 might be accurate for sure. And that's only, that's like a good 3 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, true enough, eh? Unless it's the beginning of 2027.
Yeah. Now
Because it's been 2
but
years.
now it's a race. So I'm gonna have to try to beat 2027. Thank you to Caroline. I don't know. It's my computer is very far away, so I can barely
Oh,
read the name, but I think it says Caroline.
well, yes, I see it is
So
Carol.
so so challenge accepted. Is That's what I'll say
Challenge
there.
accepted. Unless you
Yeah.
can unless you can get there faster,
Unless
because
I can
that.
get there faster, which I will try.
Well, that's the great thing actually about YouTube is all it takes is like one video that is shared
Yeah.
in the right place, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like your numbers could go up by 100K in a matter of 2 days.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
if it
so many
goes
things can
the right way,
happen.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of special. Like it's like the lottery, right? If you keep buying the lottery tickets, you never know, right?
And you never like I've had so many people like I've seen so many people quit over the years that have their channel like all of a sudden take off after they've quit. I'm like, hey, this is why you shouldn't quit. You never know when YouTube is going to make a change or do something different or change the algorithm, and then boom, you take off again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
And speaking of lotteries, have you ever won a lottery?
No, I mean, I do consider myself pretty lucky. Like I have won things in life in general. So
Mhm.
I do consider myself lucky. I would say that I'm like not a lottery person. I'm not. I rather like say that I made it on my own. So I don't even really try to go to win the lottery. But
Oh.
I've been. I went to the casino before I moved out to Washington many years ago, and I won a bunch of money. So I would say that I have the I can win money.
Oh, so you won at the casino.
Yeah, I won like $600, I think it was. So
Nice.
not bad.
Nice for sure. And so yeah, luck. And I feel too, if we also have an experience of something in our past, that kind
Oh
of
yeah.
helps us to draw on the energy. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's because
Yeah.
if you've had success with something in your past, you can pretty much because it's already mind possible to you. You know that it can happen because it's happened to you before. So it seems like, people who've built businesses, even though they may have lost them, and
Oh
then
yeah.
they start again and then have another success and have another success, because it's like once you get that vibration of something in your craw, so to speak, it's like you
Yeah.
can continue to draw upon that energy. And
Yeah, that's why I'm I was
So
just gonna say I'm such a big fan of small wins. I tell people
yeah,
all the time to
yeah,
stack those small wins as much as possible. That's literally all I did to grow my channel. It's like not rocket science.
yeah. Well, I mean, you also put in the work, though. You were
Yeah.
really out there. You really took it serious as a serious job and so forth. And I feel like when it comes to law of attraction, energy plays a big part in it, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
so, do you also feel like do you work with energy or anything like that?
Yeah, like in certain ways, I would say, and I think with like for me, it's like my environment, to get my energy correct. So, I think that, there are certain things, and I talk about this all the time, but there are certain things in my environment, like for down here, for example, my studio, I just come here, I hit one button, it turns everything on. So I don't have to, all my cameras, everything are on, and I don't have to really think about it. So, for as far as working with it is concerned, I don't that's a lot of friction. I have like 900 things I have to turn on in here. So, they're like little things like that that I have set up all over the place.
Oh, I see. Okay. And
Yeah.
like, do you use crystals or anything like that for
Yeah.
energy?
I have this my big ass citrine right here. So
Oh,
I keep
that's
this on my table here. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
yep.
yeah, energy I think is really important when it comes to law of attraction. You really have to focus and put all of your energy into something in order to have it manifest. And I also believe you have to be confident. Like I say that with the
Oh yeah.
magician part all the time. You have to have that confidence behind you that it can happen and have that belief in it. And then when you do that and then you have the right energy, see what happened with me was years ago and when I first started the channel and I was writing to law of attraction, I was doing all this stuff and watching videos of Esther Hicks and all everything, the vision board, the whole thing. And then what happened was life happened. I started getting distracted by other things, right? And then I started getting pulled into other people's reality and life and socializing and everything else. And I sort of forgot where I was. You know what I mean? Did that ever happen to you where you kinda go off track?
Yeah, even now, like I'm a scatterbrain, Gemini moon, right? And ADD. So I always, like I said, my life is a constant correction. So I'm always, having to correct myself, having to get back on track, get my energy right, all that stuff. So yes.
Did you ever, get into Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right?
I
The
actually I went through his one of his courses. Yeah,
okay, the Mind Heart Institute and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
I found him absolutely amazing and fascinating,
yeah.
and everything they were saying, it's like it makes so much sense, and I totally believe that the mind can correct, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. I have like weird. I'm super sensitive, and so I'm sure you can see my little breakout up here and everything like that. So,
No, I can't
I
Chris, I can't even
yeah.
see that. That's
Oh, you
funny.
can't.
Well,
But
way to go point it out.
yeah, right. Um, But no, so I have been kind of like really into talking to my brain so lately. So a couple of years ago, I had this. I was my brother crashed a drone into a tree, and we were shaking this tree all day trying to get this drone out of a tree. And I had this crazy allergic reaction. My face blew up. My lips were like all swollen and everything like that. So since then, I've been like really, working with talking, like telling myself to my brain, my skin, everything to calm down. And so yeah, I do a lot of that.
So, is it working? Do you find it's working?
Ye- Yeah, I haven't. Knock on wood. I have not had a reaction since I had one like maybe a few months ago, and that's when I really started taking that seriously. So usually I have to have a mistake like three times, and then I figure it out.
What about health? Do you think that people can cure themselves with law of attraction as well?
Yeah, I don't know if it's law of attraction or just like, again, our brain, kind of
Positive.
kind of
Yeah,
convincing our brain to stop, right?
right. It's like we have to rewire our brain
Yeah,
into correct thinking, correct thought.
yeah, of course. Yep.
It's interesting. So, are you happy now in your life? Do you like what you're doing?
Yeah, I love this. I mean, I'm a workaholic. I have a ton of Capricorn in my chart, so
Oh, yeah.
that's why I'm constantly doing readings. I'm happy to just be working and everything. And yeah, it seems like as long as I have something to work on or something bigger to work on, then yeah, I'm generally happy.
So you're like you wake up every day, you're happy to be alive, you're happy to be at the status that you are in life, and that you have something
Um,
to do, and
Yeah, I think as long as I have that, I don't think I think happiness is something, that I don't think we're always happy. I'm never like I'm definitely not always happy, but it's, I think it's something that I work to be happy. I know what things do make me happy, which I think is more important than being happy. I think a lot of people think, "Oh, I have to be happy." But it's like, "Okay, what do you do to make yourself happy, or what things can you do to make yourself happy?" Most people don't know.
yeah, that's true. Well, maybe happy is the wrong word. I'm more content with your life and
Yeah.
where it's gone. You're a lot happier with your life now than you were, say, 10, 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, and especially, like, when I was stuck, I definitely don't like being yeah, I mean, that's probably my I would say that's probably my biggest fear is, like, getting into a position where there's, like, nothing I can do or there's nothing, where you're just, like, stuck and you can't move forwards or whatever.
Well, it seems like you found a way to get past that stuckness, you
Yeah,
now
hopefully.
yeah, you have it available to you. So anything I'm one of those people who always believes that where there's a will, there's a way. You can
Yeah,
always get yourself through anything. You just use need to use the old noggin, right? You just gotta
yeah, of course. Yeah,
think
there's yeah,
good and figure out a way out because there's always a way out. There's
always
always
a way out.
things, yeah. And as well as I believe, like with health issues and so forth, they're reflective. It's disease, right? It's reflective of
Yeah.
what's going on inside. So the more ease we can bring to ourselves and our lives, I think the healthier overall we'll be, right?
Yeah, I like Louise Hay's book, "You Can Heal Yourself."
Yeah.
I love that book. And so many times I've had an issue, I've gone to that book to look it up, and it's like, "Oh, this is anger," and I'm like, "I'm angry," or it's something else that I go through. So yeah,
Oh, Chris doesn't get angry.
I do get angry.
Yeah, I've seen you on the live a few times where click, Chris is gone. Bye bye
Yeah.
now. 'Cause you guys pissed him off. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I remember one time I was on my channel. I think I was trying to get to 20,000 subs or something like that. And I popped on your live and you were talking. You
Mm.
said, "Hey, Starry, Star's in the go and subscribe to her channel. She needs to get to 20,000 subscribers." And then you went, because I said so. Funny. It's
Of
just
course,
like,
that's the only reason you need.
yes, exactly. So I think we all find you so entertaining and you're so much fun to watch and
Oh,
you've got a
thanks.
lot of really good energy and not to mention like you're a huge huge success story. Not many people go from where you were to in such a short amount of time to where
Yeah.
you are now. It's you have merchandise, you sell the merch and stuff on your channel as well too, right?
Yeah. Yep, yep. We have
So
merch. Yeah, do a little bit of everything.
do you run all of this stuff, or does somebody else run your merch and the other stuff for you?
Yeah, I mean, I have my lovely assistant April who helps keep me organized, and my other lovely assistant, my brother Jake, who
Uh,
also helps keep me organized and keeps me going, right?
when he's not walking the dog.
When he's not walking the dog, exactly. Yep.
Exactly.
Which
Oh,
that
look,
that keeps the dog out of my hair, so
well, that's
that's yeah.
it's adorable dog though. It's such a
Yeah,
beautiful
she's
dog,
adorable.
so cute. And does Jake live with you?
Yeah, Jake lives with me. Yep, we live together. Yep, and we just hang out.
Well, that's good. Then at least you have company, you have somebody to run ideas through and stuff like that. And you have, your family support. Your family's great. Your mom and dad
Oh yeah,
support you all the way, and that always goes a long way too, right? To have the help of people around you. That
yeah, it definitely helps.
well, this is the time I warned you that I taken a break, so I will let
Gotcha.
go to the chat. And if any of you in the audience have any questions for Chris, now is a good time to shoot them at him. And I'll be right back, Chris.
I'll ask over here. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna have to read it down here, people, because this one it just looks like a hot mess. So Uptown QT. Oh my God, I remember answering your questions. You say, didn't you and your brother live together in Seattle? Yeah, we used to live together in Seattle, not anymore. Yes. Brenda, hello. Brenda, hello. Brenda says, do you meditate? Kind of. Like I consider walking. I do walking meditation. So, I'm not really a big fan of like just sitting down, meditating, doing nothing. I meditate in the shower. I'm a Pisces. I like being in water. So that's probably the best place for me to meditate. Miss J says, "Do you recharge?" Yeah, same thing. Walking for me is, I go for a walk every single day, so that's usually my recharge time, and I also sleep a lot. So, believe it or not, so that's also my recharge. Bashar, hello. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Brenda, thank you. Really appreciate it. And let's see. Uh, Magic reality, hello. And you say here, key steps to manifestation. I would just say, I think that the biggest thing that helped me was number one, staying positive, even though I'm only like maybe like 51% positive. So, what I would say is anytime I have a negative thought, I correct it. Also, affirmations. Affirmations, I don't care what anyone says. I write down affirmations every single day. I write my affirmations. People, look, here's a list right here. I sit here every single morning. Before I start my readings, I bang out a bunch of affirmations. I write them down on my piece of paper. Affirmations, you have to kind of convince yourself that whatever you write down is actually going to work. But I think that affirmations work over time is what I'm trying to spit out. But affirmations have probably been the best thing that I've done. So uh, that's what I'd say there. But it is brainwashing. You are brainwashing yourself when you do that. Let's see. Let's see. Angela says, "Do you see anything positive for this Leo?" I would say, well, number one, I think that Leos are going to have a really good year if you do something new, something that you actually are thinking about doing. So I would get moving there because it is a good year for Leo for sure. And Star Lordess is back. So,
Hey, Chris. I just love your
hello.
speed talking. Did you take one of those speed reading courses?
No, I just like I've always been like I'm also not only am I a Gemini moon, but Aquarius rising, and I have a Mercury. My Mercury's in Aquarius as well. So
Oh,
you
okay,
know,
that explains it,
yeah.
yeah. Um, do you read as fast as you speak?
No.
No?
I for the most part, well, kind of, because I'm terrible at reading. I fell on my head when I was 10 years old, and I don't know, it scrambled some things up here, and so I like if I read, I kind of have to like read like 20 times. So I listen to Audible for the most part. I do read books sometimes, but I listen to Audible like triple speed, and so I do listen to books like triple
Right,
speed.
because it seems like your mind, works really fast,
Yeah, I think it works faster than even my words sometimes, so, yeah,
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Sometimes you trip over your own words.
I do.
Oh, Nirvani
Definitely.
is in the chat. Remember Nirvani?
Oh my god, how could I forget? Nirvani, hello. Thank you for showing up. Feel
Nirvani,
like I
oh
haven't seen you in forever.
oh my goodness. So you were saying my producer over here said, the unknown son of JFK was in the chat as well, Stephen.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna have him on my, podcast
Oh,
at
no way. Awesome.
yeah. He has an incredible story to tell of his whole story is incredible. He's trying to sell his story to Hollywood, you
Oh,
know,
nice.
or
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
yeah, I wanna have him on to, talk about all this stuff. But, yeah, I don't know, I think a lot of people are just sort of in awe. You're kind of an enigma to people.
I'm definitely a weirdo. There's no doubt
Well,
about that.
in a good way because people are just like, "Wow, how did Chris do this?" Like, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Obviously, whatever it is you're doing is working, and it will continue to
yeah.
work. And, as long as you keep working at it, there's no way you're not going to. And nobody's gonna celebrate more than Tony and I when you finally reach that million.
I
We're
know.
waiting. We're waiting for it. I'm sure you all are.
I
Gonna have a
I
big
I am.
Are you gonna have a big party when it happens?
Oh my god, if I hit a million, yes, I will have a big party. I will have a pizza cheat day. So that's what I will have.
Are you on a strict, diet? Like
Yeah.
your food?
Yeah, like I said, you know, my skin, I have very sensitive skin. As I've gotten older, I just seem to get more and more sensitive. So I basically eat nothing at this point,
Oh,
and yeah, so I have a very strict diet, and but it's working. So you
yeah.
know,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. I remember back in the day you used to skateboard. Do you still do that?
I do not still I was, so I think I was probably 33 when I fell off my skateboard, and I used to have a scar on my elbow here,
Yes,
and,
yes.
yeah, so I think I cracked a couple of ribs, you know, luckily I was wearing a full face helmet, so at the time, because it was an electric skateboard, and I slammed my face like I need to hit my head anymore. I slammed my face right into the ground, and, but luckily my face was fine, but everything else was banged up. So
So, n-
I probably haven't skateboarded since.
oh, okay. Do you miss it?
Yeah. No, you know, it was like I liked it, but it's not necessarily one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think your favorite to do now is to be a businessman and to keep building that
Yeah,
empire.
yeah, doing readings, yeah, doing videos, working on that stuff.
You also give courses, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I'm just finishing one up tomorrow, which is all about my YouTube secrets. So yeah,
Oh,
that's the one tomorrow.
okay. YouTube secrets.
Yeah, yeah. I've given most of them away, so they're not really secrets.
Not really secrets anymore.
No. Yeah, they're not.
Do you have any predictions of the Super Bowl for tomorrow?
Yeah, San Francisco. You know, someone asked me this today, and my immediate gut feeling was San Francisco. I don't really pay attention to football, but I even pulled. That was my first. You know, I always go with my gut first, and
Hmm.
then after that, I pulled cards. And when I pulled cards on it, the cards also said San Francisco as well. So, you know, I think it could be, but you know, who knows?
Well, Ninja messaged me earlier today, and she said, "Who's going to win the game tomorrow?" And I said, "Neither one of them." And then she laughed. And then I said, "No." I said, "It's just off the top of my head, 49ers." So
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's just a
yeah.
feel.
I was talking to another psychic too, who also said San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Wow. Got
But,
a
you
lot
know,
of.
who knows? We're probably wrong.
Do you do you have any predictions for this year for 2024? Just overall, like for everybody collectively.
I mean, I mean, I could go on and on about it. I think it's gonna be, you know, I said in another interview to buckle up for 2024. I think that there's, you know, this is like the beginning of the craziness for until 2033, if you want to be, you know, super technical about it. And so yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that's gonna go on.
Well, do you think we're going to be safe in 2024?
Oh, yeah. You know what's really super interesting to me is just how the 2024 readings, it's like there was stuff going on, but you know, there was like prosperity for everyone. So, you know,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, it's kind of weird how it was like there's going to be like weird stuff going on, but everybody's going to be, you know, and even, you know, I said it, I think this morning in my readings, there's a card that I always get in the Tea Leaf Oracle. I don't know if you are familiar with that deck, but I can't remember what it was. It was like something about protection. Like everybody kept getting this card of protection. So I was like, well, clearly everybody's protected. Everybody's fine.
Yeah, that is interesting because I did do in December a collective reading for the year of 2024 for the world and the people. And I was shocked that it was actually positive.
Yeah, exactly. I said it in my 2024 readings. I'm like, I can't believe these are as good as they are. I did not
Yeah.
expect it.
I know, exactly, because most people were terrified of 2024, like, just like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
it's gonna be, over the top," but and I think it in a lot of ways it will, but I think what's happening too with the Pluto movement into
Mm,
Aquarius and everything, I think we're going to sort of actually stabilize now. I think all the rockiness is just before, like, the tail end of
yeah.
Capricorn. And then it seems like we're gonna solidify now and move forward in a more positive way. And I think we're probably the only people, maybe, psychics, tarot readers are the only ones saying that 2024 is gonna be okay. But
Yeah.
and like I said, it's like I'm doing independent journalism on the side, and I have seen a lot of stuff. And I'm like, wow, 2024 has the potential to be like really, really crazy. But then when I did the reading, it contradicted that. And I was like,
Mm,
well, I don't know. Maybe there's something that's going to come in it's gonna do a big turnaround, and
Yeah. It is a dragon year too. So, dragon
yes,
years are known to be like prosperous. I mean, craziness, definitely. Last time it was a dragon year in the US, we had a financial collapse. So,
right,
um, you know, who knows? But at the same time, it is it's supposed to be prosperous.
yeah. The year of the dragon just started today. Today's Chinese New Year,
Yeah,
so
right, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
today. There you go.
Happy
I
Chinese
totally forgot that I was say Happy Chinese New Year.
to everyone in the chat.
Yeah,
Mhm. I
yep.
was concerned, I had to message Ninja and say, "You're gonna be able to make it," because she usually, has,
Oh, I know.
family stuff, but she's like, "No, we're not doing anything this year, that's okay." She'd rather be here. She'd rather be
That's
here
good.
with her Minnow Star Lordess fan club in here.
Of course.
I keep, um I keep telling her I wanna get her on camera, so because everybody
I
knows
know.
Ninja, she's
Everybody knows Ninja. Yeah.
everybody knows. She's everyone's favorite ninja.
She is. No doubt about it.
Wow. And going forward, you're just gonna keep doing what you're doing and just keep putting that magic out there, and just take it as far as you can take it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have 2024 ideas for taking over, so, taking over the world. So,
Yeah, well,
you might see more of my broken out face all over the place a lot more.
we're kind of waiting for that, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you
I have a lot of plans.
do you think that once you hit that million mark, do you think maybe your ambition for the channel would wane a bit, or
No, 'cause I mean, that's not who I don't know, I just can't stop. Like, I always have to work towards something, so I always give myself the next one I'm sure will be if I hit 1,000,000, it'll be 10,000,000, so, I'll always be angling for something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that's the best way to go, isn't it? It's just you always
Yeah.
have to have a purpose. And even for people who, aspire to be retired, I keep saying to them, don't be in such a hurry for that, because
Oh, yeah.
you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Can you imagine
Yeah.
yourself
No,
retired?
I will I said it in a video the other day, I said, "I will never retire, ever.
No,
I will
no,
always be doing something." Yeah.
because the minute you retire, it's like you give up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you have a really cool hobby that you do, that you
Yeah.
have to wake up and you have to care about something every day, and you have to be looking forward to that, and it can't just be your couch or your chair to watch TV. There's got to be a little bit more going on there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And as long as we're alive, we keep manifesting, and we keep everybody, we create our own reality just by
Yeah.
our own thoughts, right? Like you said, the brainwashing that we do in our mind, whether it's positive or negative, we're doing it, and we're creating. So if you look around your life and say, how did I get here, ask your mind how you got there, because that's how
Yeah.
you got there, right? Like,
True. Yeah.
think about who's creating their reality except them. I'm not creating their reality, they are. So if something's going wrong here, you have to stop and take assessment and look at what's happening, and then maybe change some things up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I tell everybody I mean, like, last year, 2023 was my year of trying one new thing every single day and, trying to stick to that. My original big goal was to do, 10,000 experiments in a year, so, I actually didn't end up starting that last year, but I might soon.
Wow. So it's
Yeah.
what does this consist of? You wake up and you
So
say one
10
new thing?
Yeah, 10,000 experiments is 30. So it would be basically 30 different, not really experiments, but just doing 30 different things every single day. So it sounds like a lot. It's really not. It's like, I walk this way down my street. Tomorrow I could walk that way down my street. That would be one. So, maybe tomorrow instead of putting my right shoe on, I put my left shoe on.
Oh,
Maybe I go to a, different store instead of going to the same store every day.
oh, yeah. It kind of reminds me of that Seinfeld episode with George Costanza. I remember
Yeah.
where he did the opposite of what he
The
normally does.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is exactly what it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah.
that does make a difference, right? It
Oh,
changes.
yeah.
And it also takes you out of your comfort zone, instead of just acting
Yeah.
like a robot every day, just doing the same thing. Got to go to the coffee maker, make my coffee. You try and do something, like you said, even just walking a different way can make a
Yeah.
difference. You got to shake it up. It's like she's, that voice that voice of Esther Hicks that's always in my head. You're driving yourself crazy. Change something. Change your
Change, yeah.
environment. Change your socks. Change something just so that you can get your brain off of the looping, right? And
Yeah,
it does make
absolutely.
a difference, right? It totally makes a difference. And the best thing to do also is to feel gratitude. Do you feel gratitude for?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
every single morning when I wake up, I do the, gratitude for something. So, yeah,
Mhm.
every single day. And, just for how far I've gotten too, it's like I never thought when I started my channel, there were no readers that had more than 10,000 subs. So I thought if
Yeah.
I hit 10,000, I was like, that's the
That
number,
mm,
that will be that then I've made it. So the fact that I hit 800,000, whatever I have now, crazy.
yeah, exactly. And we were the OGs, like, we were out there
Yeah.
in the early time, when
Yeah.
everything it was yeah, it was exciting, boy,
I know.
it was a fun time. I remember with Tyler from Tyler's Tarot when he only had, like, 9,000
I
subscribers,
know.
and then he took off like a rocket, and
Yeah.
it wasn't surprising, you just kinda knew with his personality, he would catch on, and look where he is now, he's living in Vegas, he's living a life, he's happy.
Yeah.
Now there's a person who's full of gratitude. He's very, just
Yeah.
driving around in his Tesla, just having a good
Yeah.
time. Yeah, that's really good. And it just goes to show you that, life, whether it be YouTube or anything else that anybody wants to aspire to be, you can do that with the right mindset and then just put in the effort and, keep moving towards your goals. It's all any of us can really do, right? And
Yeah,
then
oh, yeah.
and then one
No, I
day
think it's getting easier.
yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
one day you can end up as successful as Chris is, I think,
Yeah, of
like
course.
it's amazing to a lot of people who,
Mm,
wanna have that success. That's why your story is important because people
right.
need to know that they can come from, wherever a small start and then rise up, and it didn't take you that long. There's a lot of people
No.
work along a lot longer to achieve the kind of success you have achieved.
Yeah, and if I, wasn't a dummy, I probably would have done it in half the time, so, if I can do it, you can do it 10 times faster.
Right.
At least, maybe 3 times faster, but,
Well, you were a little bit busy back in the day just staring at the walls. So you said.
that's right. Yeah, that was a necessary part of the journey, so, yeah, absolutely.
So what were you doing? You were just letting your Piscean mind go into imagination.
Um Yeah, I was struggling. I had millions of business ideas at the time, so I tried so many different things. So I stared at a wall, but I tried a bunch of things, none of them worked. And so, I would listen to, during that time I got a lot of education. That's when I started really listening to, Esther Hicks and all those people, but also just, learning about all sorts of stuff, business, pretty much everything.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
it seems like you were almost destined to be. You knew that you had something to do. You just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I just didn't know what. Yeah.
Exactly, and it just took you a little
Yeah.
while to find out. Well, better, to find out in your 30s than in your 60s to
Yeah,
figure it
right,
out.
yeah. Although
So
some people, that's when it happens, so,
that's true too, and with them, I guess their time is shorter, so they have to rise faster because they only
Yeah,
have a
right.
time. But you could take
Yeah.
your time and do it, and I'm sure all the failures that you had added to, where you are right now. Because when we fail, we know not to do that again, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it kind of helps us in our journey when we're looking for success, and
Yeah, and
you
it's helped with so many things.
yes, and you certainly have
Yeah.
found and as long as you just keep putting it out there, I mean, everybody's receptive to you, people like you. Not only that, you are a really decent, like, YouTuber and human out there because you promote others, whereas a
Oh,
lot of
thank you.
people and you've always been a big proponent of that. I remember when you were live, you would tell everybody in the chat who had channels, like, go subscribe to their channels. You've helped me. You've pushed
Yeah.
everybody along the way. You don't feel threatened by other people. You just feel like you want to lift everyone up to the top. And I think that's the right attitude.
Yeah, and I think, again, the tarot bucket is only, again, the part of the reason is because the tarot bucket is only so big on YouTube, so we have to make that bucket bigger so all us readers can get recommended to, more people.
That's very true, but yet a lot of readers thought about it differently, where
Yeah,
there was scarcity, and it's like if you're subscribed to your channel, they can't subscribe to mine and so forth. Whereas
it's
that's not
definitely
the case.
it's like a different animal, tarot for whatever reason. Tarot doesn't follow the rules of YouTube, and but yeah, for some reason I don't know. I don't think I've seen any other niche on YouTube where people don't collaborate, as much or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be more of this for sure
Oh yeah,
because again, if you follow Esther Hicks, she doesn't believe in scarcity. There's enough
yeah,
for
there
everybody.
isn't.
There is no
Yeah,
scarcity.
right.
So, all the more we lift each other up, the better and the higher the energy is and the better everyone gets to benefit from it.
Yeah, of course.
So I guess not everybody thinks that way, so that's why they need to
Right.
follow the law of attraction, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, they need to learn.
They need to learn that, and then they'll be a lot happier,
Yeah, they will.
like we are. Oh, your dad says, "Amen, star." I'm not sure what he was referring to there.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah. Oh, and Brenda said the same thing. I don't know. I must have said something brilliant along the way. But yeah, it's amazing. It's been an amazing journey for me
Oh yeah.
to on YouTube, and I wonder what YouTube thinks sometimes of us tarot readers. Like, why are they so
Yeah,
popular?
I don't know. So I don't know how YouTube feels about tarot. So, sometimes I think they're okay with it. Other times I'm like, oh, is YouTube like taking tarot down? What's going on here?
Yeah, you never know because
Yeah.
all of a sudden
Yeah,
one
you never
day
know.
somebody
Yeah.
comes with too many complaints against tarot readers, and we're all gone. We're all
Yeah, and we're all
screwed.
gone. Exactly. Yeah.
It's
That's what
it's
I worry about.
it's a crazy world that we live in. But even if that were to happen, I'm sure we'd be popping up somewhere else on
Oh
Rumble,
yeah.
other
Rumble
things.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
for sure.
course.
And you're on TikTok as well too.
Yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere.
You're
So
pretty
yeah, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, all the places.
all the platforms, yeah, and that could be
Yeah,
hard to manage sometimes, but
yeah.
again,
It's
as long as you love what you do, there's gonna be days that it's gonna be frustrating, but as long as you keep pushing towards what you love, and I think anybody out there in the chat, in the audience here, if you love something, I would say go towards that. It doesn't have to be YouTube channel, it could be anything, it could be starting a daycare or whatever it is. If that's what you're, driven to do, go towards that.
do it. Yeah, of course.
And that's your best bet. And people sometimes say that I would love to do this, but I don't know if I can make any money at it. And I say, trust me, do what you
Yeah,
love, and the money will follow.
no doubt
And,
about it.
and that's absolutely true. The more you love it, the more energy you put into it, because where our energy goes, that thing will grow. So if you put
Yeah,
your positive energy into it, it'll positively, whether it be your bank account, whether it be your business or whatever, the more energy, but it has to be pure positive energy. And you have
yep,
to move towards that.
yeah. Especially right now, I tell everybody, follow your heart right now. So
Yeah, it seems like it's a good time to do that, hey, in 2024. That's the best thing to do is for everybody to just say the hell with whatever wasn't working for me before. Just the hell with
yeah,
that. Let's
let
move
it go.
forward
Yeah.
with things
Hmm.
that make you happy and that make sense, because the more happy people we have in the world, the better the world is for the rest of us,
Yeah,
right? You know,
of course.
because then maybe you can even turn around the trolls. You never
Yeah,
know.
maybe. Yeah, I haven't seen that happen yet,
No.
but I would like to.
I would like to see the day where we could all hold hands and sing
Yeah.
"Kumbaya." And trolls would be in there sort of grudgingly, giving us
Yeah,
the
right.
love. I like to dream
Yeah, me too.
in a
Of
perfect world.
course.
So what are your plans for tonight, Chris? Saturday night, you going
Um,
up?
I go to bed. I go to bed. I wake up super early, so I go to bed super early as well. So I have a very boring life. I don't go out. I don't do anything really.
But you will be celebrating when you hit that million, right?
I will go out. We can all go. Have not shots somewhere. I quit
Oh, okay.
drinking, so no drinking, but we can do something.
Oh, come on. You probably would have
Maybe I
you
could.
come
Maybe I
on,
could be
at
tempted
least
into
a glass
something.
of champagne for that.
Yeah. Right.
And we'll come out to Washington, we'll party with you, maybe
Yeah.
Tony I'll cook up some food.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love for Tony to cook.
Well, I guess I should let you go and get on with your evening. But again, I can't thank you enough, Chris, for coming out here and for being such a good sport and telling us some
Yeah,
of
of
your secrets.
course.
Uh,
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
yeah, and would you be willing to come back on the podcast sometime?
Of course.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, would love to.
Okay, so keep doing what you're doing, man. It's
Yeah,
people
thanks.
love you, and we always enjoy watching you.
Yeah,
And
of
your
course.
readings are pretty bang on, let me tell you
Hey,
sometimes.
thanks. I try.
Okay, well, take it easy. Much love, and
Hey,
we'll
you
see
too.
you again. Okay.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Good night. So Chris has left the building. What did y'all think of the podcast with Chris? I'm just trying to catch up with some of the chat here. Thanks, Jim, for coming in. Thank you, Reina. Thank you so much. Everybody say thanks to the mods. They did a fantastic job here tonight. Miss Ninja, Tony from I'm Hungry Now, and Reina. They're amazing. Love you guys. And can't thank you enough for the good work that you do. I always say I have the best mods going. And thank you, Nirvani. It's so nice for you to have joined us. It's been a while since I've seen you in a chat in a chat room. Aw. So are you in the chat? You in the chat? That's so rude. I'm sorry. Are you guys in the audience? Are you looking forward to tomorrow night's game? Are a lot of you into the Super Bowl, and are you anxiously awaiting it? And if so, put in the chat who you think is going to win tomorrow night's game. Hi, Ida. Nice to see you. Art journal life. Wow. Was Stacy in the chat as well? Because I see Nirvani. Nirvani says Pop's Mama Stacy, so she must have been in the chat. Hi, Stacy. If you're still in here, hope you have a good night. Oh, Deb Markle. Okay, go Chiefs. So you're going for Chiefs. I asked. Okay, a couple people in the audience is saying the Chiefs. Say hi. Stephen, if you're still in the chat, I want to say hi to you, the unknown son of JFK. Welcome. I'm glad that you could make it into the chat. See which way the pendulum's. Oh, Brenda. Hello, Tony. Yes, I guess Jim and Stacy were both in the chat. But wow, we had a lot of people in the room tonight. I hope you all had a good time. I know I did. Mama Bear. Wow. Thank you so much, Mama Bear. Art. Oh, art journal life. Now I see that's Stacy. Okay. Right. Good night, Stacy. Good night, Ninja. Good night, Reina. Good night, Anna. Or Anne, sorry. Yes, eyes are tired. I know how you feel, Anne, because my eyes are pretty tired too. Oh, I'm glad you all had a great time. And Amanda, I know you were in the chat at one point. I'm not sure if you left, but hey, Amanda, if you're still in here. Um, Good night, Nirvani. Good night, D Virgo. Oh, glad you had a fantastic time. So, I want to wish you all a great Saturday night, what's left of it, and have a great time tomorrow with the Super Bowl, whether you're voting for one or the other, or you're just going to enjoy the game and perhaps some pregame shows and pregame, however you pregame it. Hope you have a good time and have a safe weekend. Um, Join me next weekend when my guest will be Linda Lamoureux, who is a death doula. If you don't know what that is, come back and join us, but it will be back to Sunday nights next weekend. So I'm going to have to say goodnight, y'all. I'm very, very tired, but it's been such a great time. I'm really having, I'm really enjoying it, but very, very tired. So, mwah. Star Lordess signing off for now. Take care. Much love. Bye bye.